Okay, here we are back in the letter. So we have jumped back to chapter 6 because, well, our first attempt failed. So let's try resolving this with a firefight.
Sorry about this. I really don't have time for you.
Ah, here we go. Bearing down on me with the weight of its accompanying emotions like they are my own. All from a time long gone and a life that was never mine. However, there's no time to make sense of all of it.
Rebecca!
Time slows to a stop. In one moment of clarity, my body moves on its own, heart pounding hard against my ears, blood rushing through every vein, spurred only by adrenaline and a desperate bid to reach her crouched, unsuspecting form, and I don't even get to yell for her a second time. I don't even get to call her name.
Ash!
An acute pain bursts through my chest. In the next instant, all of a sudden, everything around me feels too sharp. Every edge, every point. Even the act of drawing a deep breath alone stings and burns my lungs, while an intense ache spreads slowly throughout my whole body. Numb. I feel numb. A hand comes away bleeding, shaking, while I can only let out a wet, ragged laugh. Soon, without warning, I'm going down on my knees and the whole world is pitching sideways. An arm, firm and stable, is on me the second I stumble back, catching my fall. She's always been like that after all.
Ashton!
Her hands are shaking. Her lips are quivering while she looks at me with worry. Tears have started to form at their corners, threatening to spill at any moment, and a pang of regret hits me at the sight of it.
This kind of feels like old times, doesn't it?
So that's an achievement?
Ash! Don't...
Sorry, Rebecca. Looks like this will be the last.
Looks like I won't be able to protect you anymore. Cautiously, despite the stabbing aches shooting up at every moment, I reach a trembling hand up to wipe the tears away. She's never the type to cry, after all. My arm never makes it far, however. Midway, she meets my hand, catching it in a tight grip, as if to still hold on to me. Not that she'll be able to. It's all slipping away. Just slowly. The pain is easing. Everything's going cold.
Stay put, Ash! We'll get you to a hospital! Don't move! And stop talking! You're making it worse! Don't worry! You'll be fine! We'll get you help!
I'd like to agree with her on that. Reassure her. But I've gone through a lot. Survived a lot of shit. Doesn't take a genius to figure out that I'm done for. Whatever hit me, a hole to the chest is fatal enough. I don't think I'm going to bounce back from this. I'm dying.
I'm sorry.
I should be afraid in this moment. Yet I'm not. No fear. No dread. Just an acceptance. And a deep regret as she appears before us, her voice echoing throughout the foyer. The woman just lingers there, a poor mimicry of life, a chilling smile on her face. Without a doubt, it's her.
I told you, didn't I? Everything you're doing is useless, Ashton Frey. And now, you're dying. Meddlesome fool.
Hannah? You're not supposed to be here.
Oh, Luke, darling, my love. You look so upset. Are you not happy to see me?
Outside, another streak of lightning flashes and a clap of thunder ripples across the sky. Here, there's only a whispered sigh, a fading breath, and a lone heart that beats hard one last time. She got one thing wrong, though. I did not die alone. So yeah, that's gonna be the final piece Luke needs. So I'm just skipping through all of it because this is everything you should have seen in the first attempt at the true ending. This, of course, is from the Grim Reaper run. She dies, he looks in the room, sees the crib, realizes she's pregnant, And since Zack does not barge in, the body is just left there. As messed up as that is. So I don't think there's going to be any new lines here because the choice we made differs at the end. Right there, he curses Zack out if Hannah's not there. I think he actually says like 3 more lines than he did the first time. Overall, it literally changes nothing. It's just him being a bigger ass. So here we meet Takako. Shotgun tucks Luke in for the night. Or wait, it's after Kylie that he has to tuck him in. So right there, he understands her quote-unquote crime. The witchcraft thing that she was framed for and everything. And I have a feeling the first line that's going to change is when we finally do shoot at... Well, Ash shoots Luke here. It's not the other way around. It's the ghost that harpoons him, though. And they never really do tell you what it is that stabs him.
Ash!
In the next second, he falls, down on one knee, desperately trying to keep himself up with what strength he has left. But eventually, his own body caves in, taking the horrified Daisy down with him, muttering quietly to her as something distinctly red flows from his body. Blood? This man isn't supposed to be dead yet. He isn't supposed to. I didn't shoot him, I'm sure of it. So what killed him? What in bloody blazes is going on here? Is it so wrong to just want a quiet night where nothing needs attending to? Just one normal night? Quickly, everything has turned crazy with perilous happenings that are hard to explain. But it seems that when it comes to me, death is always around the corner. I want to look him over. This is going to cause more problems. All the screaming and crying for a detective who's died for no apparent reason is giving me a migraine. I need to get all these people out of my house, one way or the other. But in the blurry mess of my vision, none of this registers enough to compel my body to move. Nothing does. Except for the voice unexpectedly ringing above the discord, and when I finally gather the strength to look up, everything falls away into the background. All that matters is her.
I told you, didn't I? Everything you're doing is useless, Ashton Frey. And now, you're dying. Meddlesome fool.
Hannah? You're not supposed to be here.
For a moment, I wonder if it had been me who died and not her. After all, that can be the only logical explanation as why I hardly draw breath while she still stands there. Of course, another logical explanation would be that I'm high, and this is a really, really bad trip. Either reason doesn't suit me. Though it can't very well be the former. Even from down here, I can see the blood that stains her dress. So all this is stuff we've seen before. It's not until Luke gets the flashbacks that we should actually have stuff happen. So right here, Ash is no longer here. He'll be one of the voices along with Marianne and Hannah. That's going to be coming up in a second. Hannah's body shudders and shakes as she's about to have a seizure until her visage ripples and changes. Golden yellow hair is slowly stained with inky black, and her face melts into that of the woman, the maid from before, with a menacing expression on her face. Along with it is the shifting of the very ground we stand on. It's a slow thing, a whisper more than a bang as the darkness creeps into every corner of the room. The walls shudder and groan. Blood runs from the ceiling, crawls down the walls and stains the floor. It feels as if life itself is being sucked from the house, slowly but surely. The beauty of the place is gone, with only the dead, decaying remains of a mansion left in its wake. I would have to wonder if it's just the foyer that's become this nightmarish place. I can already hear it. Gone are the growling of thunder and the lashings of rain and wind against the foyer's high windows. All of it's been replaced by a more grating sound. A cacophony of voices from nowhere and everywhere echoing throughout the now horrid walls. Voices that neither belong to us nor the people who live here.
What's going on?
Help! Please!
All throughout the house, shouts of alarm and surprise ring out, a mirror to the horror creeping up in each of us. Who wouldn't be shocked? This is insane. Even Daisy, feisty woman that she is, trembles at the sight of it, clinging desperately to Lily and Steele, who stands protectively in front of the two. I suppose it only makes sense for the man to take on that role when their friend is gone. Something to hold on to when there seems to be no end in sight to this insanity. If anything, this only feels like it's the beginning of the end.
Help me. Oh my god. Please, somebody. Anybody. Who are you?
Stay away!
No. Stay away. Stay away.
Mother of God, pray for us sinners.
I'm sorry.
So I didn't hear Hannah there. Also, what's kind of interesting is you never actually hear one from Rose, and she's the only other voice character who dies, I believe. Well, the priest too could be there. It's just I don't actually know his voice too well. Their screams fill the mansion. She laughs all the while, a harsh, agonizing sound that goes on for what feels like forever. Until there's nothing but silence, her horrid smile and pale hands reaching out to me. Calling, beckoning, pleading. I'm terrified, I really am, like I should be, but I have never been one to truly stay afraid. I have long learned that fear will not get me anywhere. Cowering in a corner doesn't help keep me safe, and will not keep me alive. Not like rage does. I have learned to use this burning hate inside of me to survive. There's no difference now.
Stay away from me!
Why do you wish to leave? This is where you belong, my lord. Remember the blood you shed. The very same one that now taints this house, along with many others.
I did not do this, you lie! I did nothing!
What of her then? Your wife, your sunshine. Doesn't her blood already stain these halls? Stain your hands?
Then, Hannah's really? You're the one who... You killed her. Your own wife!
She's lying!
The words sound so familiar. Just a few days ago, I spotted the same ones of that vile woman who ruined everything, if it weren't for that that harlot. But it's no use. A seed has already been planted in their heads. Defending myself, especially against the likes of him, is pointless. Bloody hell, even Daisy's now looking at me with the same revolting stares people are giving me once they know of my dirt.
So it's true then? With Hannah? Hannah, Luke?
I don't know what she's talking about. Are you that gullible, Daisy? Do you really believe the words of a murderer? She killed your friend over there.
Now you deny it. Pointing fingers, aren't we? You see, my love, no difference. No difference, you and I. Just like the rest of us. Just like every single soul in this putrid wreck. We've waited for so long. You can hear them, yes? Their pleas, their calls, their invitation. Come, my lord. The house seeks its master.
The monster reaches out again, her hands a gory, abhorrent sight, along with that smile spread across her face. My body's already moving on instinct, stumbling back one step at a time in a desperate bid to be away from her. Anything to put distance between me and this vile creature. No matter what she says, I am nothing like her. I need to get out of this house. Out of this country, preferably. There's nothing for me here, not anymore, nothing to keep me tied to this place. With Hannah gone, Shrock and likely taken by this woman as well, nothing's left to bind me to this wretched city. I can leave, My foot steps on something, sending me sliding down my back and flat on the floor. Beside me, a paper, a familiar one, flutters down. It's this thing again from the open house, though it feels less like a gimmick and more like a threat, what with recent events. It must have fallen from the detective in the commotion earlier. And with its owner having died a gruesome death, now it simply bears its equally grisly message for everyone in the room to see. Help me, help me, help me. Is this it? What they've been telling us? Why everything in my life has gone to shit. Because of some stupid old letter. An invitation indeed. One I'm not willing to accept. Not any time. From the top of the stairs, the creature moves again, drawing my attention back to her. Her gait remains slow and awkward as she walks forward, that smile never leaving her, but I don't. I won't give her the chance. I am not dying here. Adrenaline kicks in, and despite panic gasps and worried glances from Daisy's friends, I pay them no mind as I reach for the main door and... Without warning, the door slams open, revealing not the matching grounds like I'm expecting. Before my mind can even comprehend what's happening, black tendrils have already coiled tightly around my limbs, dragging every person in the foyer into the room. None of us even get to scream when darkness completely envelops us upon the doors closing.
Understand where your place is now, my love. You belong here. Is it so difficult to grasp? We've been waiting.
There's a moment of panic when the feeling of the tendrils around my limbs finally dissipates. As soon as my eyes adjust to the darkness of the room and I'm on my feet, I'm reaching for my knife and holding it out, watching, waiting for every movement, using it as a way to put distance between me and these peasants. Who knows what they'll do to me, now that they know what I've done. There's only 4 of us in this room, 3 of them friends at that, and only me. I cannot trust these people not to turn on me. I cannot trust anyone. Not anymore. Not after this. Despite the pleading looks Elise shoots my way while they all huddle in the corner behind steel, I have to remind myself that even people like her are capable of doing the unpleasant. She's only human after all. It's never an excuse, why even Hannah has her cunning manipulative moments, though she does it much subtler than I. Why else would Lily show us this letter that day, if not to save herself? I guess that backfired on her now that she and her own friends are also stuck here. Still, I have every right to be livid. Everything that I built has fallen apart. My wife, my children, all because these people came into our lives.
You 3, all of you, this is all your fault. If I'm dying to this bloody case, I'm taking you all down with me.
Hey now, Mr. Wright. I know the situation ain't good, but we have to calm down. We're all in the same boat here.
You shut your mouth! If it weren't for you, or this letter, for all of you, none of this would have happened! Hannah would still be...
Suddenly, Daisy steps up and slaps the knife away from my hand.
Don't you dare, Luke! Don't you dare put that blame on us!
Without batting an eye, glaring at me as if she might just rip my head off in this instant. Said knife slides uselessly under the table out of my reach. I should have expected she's not the kind to submit, even under threat. For all the black man's height, right now, all of us appear smaller, facing her anger.
Last I checked, we're not the one whose hands have been stained with his wife's own blood!
And what about your friend over there? Are you saying she is responsible for this mess? For the lives this sorting letter took? Dragging other people into her own problems just so she could save her little sorry self? You think I haven't seen that before? Getting real tired of your double standards, Daisy!
You know this curse is an entirely different issue from what you've done, Luke. Because, knowing you, I don't doubt that even without that blasted letter, you would have eventually...
Rebecca, stop! All of you stop this!
To hear Lily speak out loud, I can't say I'm not surprised. She's always given me the impression of someone so meek from the moment I met her, either from her experience or her station in life. She's never struck me as someone fitting to be a real estate agent. If anything, that meltdown she had during the open house had only proven my assumptions. Until now. Quietly, she puts herself between me and Daisy, cutting whatever scathing words we've yet to hurl at each other. The way she glares at me, it reminds me a little of the way my own mum would look at me, particularly when I've done something wrong. And it's not a stare she's unused to showing. She has done this before, probably to a younger sibling. Huh. If she only sees us now as a pair of squabbling kids, not two mature adults, well, that's only to be expected. No doubt that's how she sees us. For a long moment, there's only silence in the room. Steele the big oaf doesn't even dare break it, merely watching the 3 of us behind 2 women who he towers over significantly. Too soft. Not that it matters when Lee starts speaking again, after some of the anger and tension is lifted from the room.
Stop this, please! With or without that damn piece of paper, we...
A deep breath. An exhale. And then she closes her eyes, a crease formed between her eyebrows while she grips her hand tightly in front of her.
We still would have ended up in this mess.
The atmosphere that descends into the room right after that. Admission is anything but pleasant. Can I call it that, an admission? It seems like it from the way her eyes nervously flick between her friends and I. She appears no more than she lets on, and how she makes herself appear smaller after dropping that bomb on us doesn't sit quite well with me. Impatience is something I don't have the luxury of having right now and bestowing upon other people. What else does this girl know? What else is she not telling us? Because from the looks of this, even her friends have no idea what she's talking about. Unwilling to wait, I grab her arm before she retreats without explanation, waving the letter still in my hand in front of her.
Ow! Sir, you're hurting me!
Luke, will you stop taking it out on every single person?
Your friend is hiding something, Daisy.
She struggles for a moment, but my hold eventually forces her to look up at me. Fear and uncertainty spread across her features, especially when her eyes land on the damn paper. As much as I want to be considerate right now, I want answers.
What do you mean, Lily?
I'm not sure about it.
Don't give me that, you know something!
Ow! Please, sir. I know the paper's useless, okay? Those people they mentioned in the news lately, all those who died, my co-workers, the open house clients, none of them had seen it. Even Rose. And yet they're all dead. I should know, sir. That letter has been with me since I picked it up. And I swear I didn't make copies of this thing. Even if I wanted to save myself, I wouldn't do that to my friends. Or anyone.
And yet we're all here! Are you taking me for a fool, Lily?
We would have ended up here either way. Maybe? I really don't know. Sir, please. All I know is that paper isn't the reason why all of this is happening. There's something else that...
This place.
Steele's been quiet this entire time, but the sound of him talking, however whispered it is, still manages to catch us all off guard. We all pause, turning to him with likely the same questions in our eyes.
What?
I just remembered something, a friend told me. You know, stuff about ghosts, or curses. You probably don't want to hear it.
No, it might be something. What about this place, Zach? Maybe it's also the reason why Ash went here.
There's still a moment of hesitation in him, but the mention of their dead friend appears the reason enough to spur him to speaking.
Remember what I told you the last time you and Ash visited? A few days ago?
A pause while he allows Lily to remember. Soon enough, whatever it is dawns on her and her face lights up with something like... hope? Of all things, in this nightmare, hope? Her head snaps up and she reaches for Steele's arm to give it a squeeze. A reassurance or a confirmation? The meaning is lost even to Daisy, who glances at them baffled.
Belle, what are you...
Becca, it's this place. Think about it.
Then they proceed to tell some ridiculous narrative about the supernatural. Stories about ghosts, legends, curses born out of great anger and pain, and whatever else people use to scare children. Not that I believe any of it, as if knowing will help. Bunch of loons, these people, officially off their rockers. To think I'll be stuck in this nightmare with people like them. What did I ever do to the world? Of course, it's all absurd until...
I think it's just like what the professor guy said. Just like that old story. This mansion and some other thing might be keeping her here. You know, something he wanted in life, but never got to have. Something like that.
Or maybe it's not something, Zachary.
Someone. The who doesn't have to be uttered out loud. There's only one person in this room who that woman calls after. Every single one of them has heard it. Bloody hell, it's in the reluctant shift in Daisy's eyes when they flicker over to me, though only briefly. She's also holding information on her own. Perhaps a realization she just had. Doesn't matter. I know when people have slowly started to turn on me. How do they think I lasted in this cutthroat world? Betray them before they do the same thing to you. Put a knife in their back before they can act. Kill or be killed. Survival in a nutshell. Why did they think I put Hannah out of the picture before she can cry for help and ruin everything? What now, are they going to throw me at that creature? See what happens to save themselves. I am no fool.
No. You're all in on this, aren't you? Of course! Of fucking course!
Luke, that isn't what I...
My hand's already on the door, pushing it open before she finishes. Betrayal or not, this isn't anything new. They may not be thinking of it right now, but eventually, trapped in this nightmare, the first thing to do is put distance between us, before a plan even hatches in their minds. There's 3 of them. Only one me. I have to get out of here. Find an exit to this place or a way to get rid of each of them. But karma, the damn thing, seems to be at work here. Because when the door swings open, I barrel into the next room, there's only a reminder of the blood I've shed. Of her. Of them.
You don't have to do this. You can still have it all, Luke.
Damn, the crying babies is going a little bit too far.
Just please. Don't you love me?
It is not only her sobs that I hear, but his. Hers. Theirs. I'll never know now, will I? What kind of life I would have lived with them, if I will ever be a father better than my own. But I suppose I have my answer now. I killed them after all. It's their blood that stains my hand and this room.
We would have been so beautiful.
By my own doing, I've ended all of it, even before anything has begun. Now their blood drips from every wall, pooling at every inch of the floor, leaving a sorry mess at the hem of my pants with every step I take into the room. Like the cold, suffocating embrace of my sins, the dread from the sight creeps up my limbs, slow and unhurried, twisting and turning. Up and up it goes until nothing but a sharp guttural cry escapes from my mouth and a realization. It hits me like a gut punch, sending my knees buckling and the rest of me sprawling. Behind me, Daisy shouts, a worried cry running into the room and placing a comforting hand on my shoulder. Following after her are Lily and Steele, lingering by the doorway to that room. Hannah's little nursery, or at least it's supposed to be one until things in this place have gone haywire. I can't even bring myself to look at it.
Are you all right? You vampot. Don't just run off like that. We don't know what's going on in this house.
But the sharp timbre always present in her tone pales in comparison to every voice ringing in my ears, along with Hannah's and the distant cry of babies somewhere. How many people have died here, I wonder? How many of them are still trapped in here? Because it isn't just that creature's murmurs and pleas that I hear. It isn't just my wife's or the life she carried in her, but hundreds, thousands of them. Not that it matters now when I know I've also doomed Hannah and my own children to this nightmare. Somehow, out of everything, it's the thought of them trapped in here that sets me on edge, sends my stomach churning and bile rising in my throat. Then slowly, a laughter. I also laughed back then, didn't I? The moment my eyes had seen what was to be of that room. Days later, Shrug and asked if I'm happy, that bastard. I suppose I have a clear answer now. There's no happiness in this. Despite the chuckles and the giggles spilling forth, there's only a hollow void.
I don't deserve them, Daisy! Any of them!
And there's only one way to fix this. So there's actually 2 endings you can get here based on what you do here. So there's Luke saves himself, I think, and then Luke sacrifices himself. So, let's bail. No. Damn it. This isn't how it's supposed to end. This isn't how things are supposed to end. Not like this. Not for me. Not after everything I built for myself. What kind of bullshit is this in the first place, that I am doomed to die? Me, the great Luke Wright? After surviving a shithole of a childhood, I'm going to die being a self-sacrificing idiot. Like hell. There might not be happiness in this. But when has that stopped me before? When has killing someone did? When has dirtying my hands with the blood of people getting in my way did? Money. Power. I want it all. And if it warrants a life, then so be it. In the end, Hannah and her unborn are nothing but another addition to the list of people I've sacrificed to get what I want. This. Them.
You don't need that.
That's right, they are nothing. I only need myself to survive. Kill or be killed, this is the kind of world we live in. Ruthless, cruel, unforgiving. It's what Damien Wright had taught me. It's what life has taught me. It's about time people like them learn. It's just a pity they have to go through it the hard way. They had the chance earlier. They've given it up. It's only right that I take what they've abandoned for myself. Too soft. They are too soft. Even Daisy for all that feisty attitude she brings with her. She merely gives me a baffled look when I push myself up from the floor, staring at me with only a slew of questions in her eyes as I slowly back away from the room. It doesn't even occur to them. Poor little things. Idiots.
Luke, what are you?
Not until I'm already at the door and pushing it open. Only then does dread and fear set in their faces, expressions I know far too well. All from the people who have met the business end of my knife or gun or both. Hannah had something similar on her face when she croaked. Funny how in death, we're all the same.
I'd really love to stay and chat with all of you. What with two lovely ladies here, but I'm afraid I have business to attend to. A shame, isn't it?
You bloody bastard!
Becca, he's going to... Her warning comes a little too late. The sound of the door slamming and locking behind me cuts her off. Not that I care. From inside I can already hear their panic, but I don't stay. The mansion has calmed down. In fact, it seems to have done so for me, like a praise for a job well done. And maybe I do deserve it. Not many have the guts to deny 3 people of their lives in one go. The terror in their voices filtering through the door. It's all too entertaining to hear. When was the last time I've done such? Certainly not after my marriage with Hannah. But why should I waste time listening here? Like I've told them, I have things to do. I'm a busy man. Quickly I make a break for it before one of them decides to bring the doors down. And sure enough, right when I reach the bottom of the stairs, the main door is almost in arm's reach. A crash echoes from upstairs, followed by hurried footsteps and curses. Vivid, colorful ones, spilling one after another from their mouths. Their mothers would have been proud. Becca, he's gone. Where?
That fucking ballbag! How dare he! If I get my hands on him!
Guys, he's already downstairs!
If only their feet are as fast as their mouths. I might have given them bonus points for trying. But alas, we may all end up in the same place after death, but getting there will never be the same for all of us. For me, this hellhole is definitely not where I'm snuffing it, and I will damn well make sure of it, even if it means sacrificing a few useless nitwits. Wow. So they unlock the achievement "Bye, bitches." Wow. And like this is another one of the great CGs for the game. Like the sound effects totally add to the scene and everything. Because I think this is the first time you actually see Zach completely pissed off. Wow. Their fists pound hard against the door when they finally reach it. Pushing, pulling, trying to budge the bloody thing open with all their might. Yelling at the top of their lungs, begging even in a futile attempt to get me to open it. It's useless, however, for them. These doors won't open once locked without a key. And why should I let them? I'm not an idiot. A betrayal of this kind? Well, what did I tell people about stabbing you in the back once you turn around and you give them an opening? Only you matter, my lord, my love. You have no need for them. We have no need for them. I say never give them the chance. Let them rot. From the other side of the door, their pleas continue. Until... a laughter rings from the other side. Vile, menacing. And I can only feel relief that I'm not in there with them, left at the mercy of that woman. Soon the ground trembles and the air shifts with their screams, while a thick, acrid smell filters from the room beyond. And all at once... a silence. Deafening. Still. The same hush that comes after a terrible storm has swept the countryside. And with it is the sight of the sun rising above the horizon. Ever so slowly the sky begins to lighten before my eyes. Darkness giving way to the warm morning hues, soft rays spilling over the vast expanse of Luxborn's countryside. Nearby the trees sway and rustle with the breeze, a passing draft cold enough to make me shiver, the remains of a storm that has passed. In the distance, I can hear the soft chirping of birds while the rest of the world stirs, wakes. Dawn at last. I am free.
You see, my love, no difference. No difference, you and I.
A curious local finds the bodies within the mansion months later, and whispers quickly spread across Luxborn City upon its discovery. Officers who investigated have deemed the mystery of the Ermengarde mansion deaths as another tragedy brought upon the city by the Anselm Butcher. But for those who still believe in the stories of the old and those who know the truth, it is but a testament to the curse and the secrets the Ermengarde mansion has hidden for centuries. If there will come a time when those will finally be revealed, only the hallowed halls of the mansion know. To this day, it stands silent. However, on nights when the wind howls and thunder booms across the sky, some still claim of hearing voices within. Of cries and wails that fill nights and desperate calls of help for anyone who dares listen. As for the one who lives, Luke Wright immediately left the city before news is even broken out. By the time anyone's caught wind of what happened in the mansion, he is already long gone. All of his bank accounts have been emptied, including all of his Luxborn apartments, leaving not a single trace or clue where he might be hiding. The last anyone has seen of him was on a flight bound for Barcelona, Spain. No one has heard from him since, even his people from Wright Enterprise, who have been left reeling for months with the absence of their CEO. Publicly named as the Anselm Butcher by Luxborn authorities, the once affluent businessman has become one of the country's most wanted. However, up until now, he is yet to be found, as are the answers he has taken with his departure. So yeah, this wasn't the ending I was looking for, but I was not aware of that achievement because that was epic in and of itself. So I don't know about you guys, but at times when Luke's actor isn't quite doing the whole British thing, and some of the lines in particular, I think he could probably do a pretty decent Joker impression from DC. Some of those harsh notes definitely sounds like when the Joker is going on a rant, you know? Thing is, since he's not a Curtis Arnott or something, I think is Luke's voice actor, it was right there a little while ago. If he's here, odds are he's not a union member, so he'd probably never get cast for that role. And the thing is, I do want to show this because I think at the end you will have the scene where Kylie dies, I believe. It's on the other route that it will change. But yeah, we are almost done with the letter now. So I just have to go back and get the actual true ending since this is the split that takes place. I'm kind of curious what this is classified as. But otherwise, the whole Anselm Butcher accusation on Luke will fall apart, unfortunately. It's just there's so many... For a lot of the things, he most likely has an alibi anyway, even though there may not necessarily be someone alive who can testify for him. Like, one of the things I'm wondering about is, did anyone die on the night he got assaulted by Rebecca in the cafe? And the reason why I'm thinking that is because then he'd possibly have the customers, security cameras, and hell, this is Britain we're talking about, where they have security cameras on every street corner, which makes it even harder for that accusation to be pinned on him. So yeah, even if they did catch him, I highly, highly doubt that would even stick. The other thing that's kind of curious though is for the lobby area where, what was it, Zach, Rebecca, and Isabella died, was help me written across that too? So yeah, not too much else to talk about here. You can see that the game doesn't actually take that long to get through if you're just speeding through it. I want to say you probably could get through first chapter to Luke's game probably in like half an hour. So here are the special messages. Yeah, if you want to see me somewhere again, stay away from those damn romance comedy crap things. That line makes me think Kylie might be a Kickstarter character like Marianne. Marianne's voice actress. You'll understand this significance when we get to the hand of possession thing, which I plan on still doing, don't worry. It's most likely going to be something I speed through though, so just a heads up. In case you're wondering, that's an achievement right there, that face, when Luke eats Hannah's pie. And I'll leave the rest to your imagination, because it is far better than anything I could possibly describe.
Teal? Where are you, Teal?
Spain.
Teal? Please? She's here! She's still here, Teal!
Oh yeah, and she's pissed too. It sucks to be you, Kylie.
Help me! Please!
Hang in there. Damn it. Actually, hold on a second. Where... is it down here? Those are the romance ones. Here it is. Bye, bitches. Kill them all. No fucks given. So I think that was probably like the first ending I got. Part of the Grim Reaper ending. As for the epilogues, is that considered a good ending, or no? Individual bad. So I guess that's Luke Escape 1. Yep. So in case you're having trouble getting this one, this is how you do it exactly. Because I think that one has eluded some people based on what I've read online. But yeah, we only really have one thing to show for our trouble now. That's the priest. Got all of hers. All of his. All of hers. I don't know which ones I'm missing here just yet. And then this is the love confession goodbye, I believe. Still need to get that one, damn it. Chapter 6. Not sure what these two are supposed to be. Maybe if Zach is the one who has to catch his body or something, I'm not sure. So this is a lot more filled out than it used to be. Then chapter 7. I don't even remember when her face was there. And splat. So am I able to see the different variations of that one? Then some of these should be true ending related. As for the memory fragments, we're missing the 2, but we'll get those in a second, and then we'll get these when we do the actual proper true ending. So here we go, folks. 3rd time's the charm. We'll see you there. I'm the Hero of Light. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.